One of the most overlooked causes of dis-ease, ill health, and imbalance is doing what you don't like to do a lot of the time. Being around people you don't like, doing things you don't like, in my opinion, in my experience, is one of the major underlying causes of imbalance, dis-ease, disharmony, and illness within the overall body-mind system. Now, this might sound very trite and obvious, but it's based on some very pragmatic axioms. So the first is that appreciation. So to appreciate something means basically to grow it or expand it or to, push it forward. So you got to think what you're putting your attention on, what you're putting your energy on, what you're putting your energy into is something that you're appreciating. For example, if you have a skill, let's say you play piano or you play guitar or you're an athlete, odds are you spend a lot of time appreciating that skill. You invested a lot of time and energy and effort and intention and attention into that skill to appreciate it and grow it into something that's very, functioning at a higher level. Whereas there's other things that you haven't very much appreciated. Maybe you play piano and you try to play guitar and you're just terrible at it because you haven't spent the time to actually appreciate it and grow it. So based on that, you can assume and see that where your attention goes, your energy goes, and you're expanding upon that, and you're really bringing it to the forefront of your consciousness. Now think of the implications and the consequences of spending all of your time doing things that you hate to do, being around people that you don't like, in an environment that you don't like, that makes you feel, constricted and tight and tense, and makes your shoulders roll up and your chest cave in, and raises your blood pressure and upsets your digestion, puts you in a fight or flight state, screws with your metabolism, raises your stress hormones, gives you headaches, gives you ulcers, keeps you up at night. All of these things are traced back to fundamentally doing things that you don't like to do, being around people you don't like, in environments that you don't like. Now, just to clarify and justify, let's say you really just want to sit on the couch and watch TV and eat pizza and drink beer. Sure, that's what you like, but ultimately it's not really going to make you happy, and it's not the intersection of what you like and what's actually going to improve your life and improve the lives of others. So to really find out, what you like, and what I mean by doing what you like is finding the intersection between what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, and what you can do to contribute to the lives of others, and what you can do to improve and contribute to your own life. Whether that's a hobby, whether that's a certain skill, or whether that's your vocation or your relationships, it's important to remember that intersection. And because, some people like to just do very self-destructive things, and I'm not saying that they should just quit their job because they don't like it and abandon their relations if they don't like it and just indulge in self-destructive behaviors. I'm saying that rather than doing things that we hate because someone told us we should, or someone tricked us into believing that we had to, we should instead find out, what's the best investment of our time that's going to help ourselves and help other people at the same time. So one thing, just to get you started, let's say you're in a place to where you have to do a lot of stuff that you don't like. The first step is to just look at yourself and realize that you're worthy of doing what you want to do, and you deserve to do what you want to do, and you have the ability to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, obviously, if you want to fly to the moon and levitate, there's not too much you can really do there. So it's always wise to actually be realistic and practical in these matters. I wish I could levitate, but I can't. At least not in this state. So it's not really worth me focusing my attention on. No matter how much I think I deserve it, if it's not in alignment with what's actually possible, if it's not in alignment with who I really am, what I'm meant to do, and what's actually going to help people, it's not really going to work out. So that's another principle to keep in mind, is that we all have kind of, predispositions or tendencies or things that we kind of should do, things that are going to be the path of least resistance, because energy will always take the path of least resistance. So for example, if you're saying you want to, be healthier, feel better, but you're just sitting on the couch, for the energy to get to you and to get to where you want to go, it's a pretty long journey that's going to have to take. If you're exercising and putting in the energy and the effort to do so, the path is so much quicker, shorter, and easier. So, just to recap, the underlying cause of so many different stress, disease, illness, imbalance, disharmony, all these things, fundamentally doing what you don't want to do, being around people you don't want to be around, in environments that you don't want to be around. So the key is to find the intersection between what makes you happy, what makes you feel good, and what's going to help yourself, help the world, and help other people. The second thing is to, really give yourself permission to have that, know that you deserve it, and be willing to accept it, and know that you're worthy of that. And the third thing is to, of course, follow the path of least resistance. For example, if I want to go out and be a NASCAR driver or something, that's going to be an uphill battle for me, just because that's not who I am or really what I'm supposed to be doing. If I'm going to get on here and talk about herbs or yoga or something, so much easier, so much quicker, so much more effective. So you got to look at yourself, kind of see what your tendencies are, for what you're into, what you're passionate about, what excites you, and follow it. So, if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.